get started. So, today we are going to start our first lesson, and from today onwards, the classes will be recorded and it will be given to you through the Azurite Learning app. Okay, so later on, we will share the instructions in the group how to download the app and how you can view these class recordings. Okay, we will teach you how to use the app. So, all these classes from today onwards will be uploaded there for you to review them. Okay, so before we get started with the lesson itself, I just want to give you a few instructions. Okay, firstly, it's active participation. I want you to unmute and speak in the class every time you have a doubt or whenever you feel like you have to practice, you have to unmute and speak. Because only if you unmute and speak, I can know where you need help. And also, if there is any pronunciation correction, I can do that for you. Right? So, for me to know if you need an extra help or anything as such, it's really important for you to participate in the class. Then, I require consistent practice. So, whatever you have learned in class, we always practice everyday conversations, everyday vocabulary, uh, whatever is required, those things only will be practicing in class. So, whatever you have learned in class, you can go back home and use it. Okay, you can talk with your family, friends, or in school or workplace, right?
Place, right?
So kindly stay muted. Okay, so you can always go back and use it, whatever we are learning in the class, and I want you to use it. Okay, don't just learn for 1 hour and forget the words. Please go back and practice it as well.
Varnika,
Yes, Raghavendra.
like we are recording this, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next is active listening. Active listening is equally important as speaking. If you don't listen, you can't speak, right? So, listening is equally important. Any word you don't understand, you can always stop and ask immediately. Okay, don't wait until the class is over or I'll ask tomorrow. Don't do that. So, if you don't understand now, you have to ask now. Okay, so active listening is equally important. Then you have to speak fearlessly. Don't worry if you're making mistakes, or if you're not understanding how to make a sentence. You can directly say that I'm not able to make a sentence. I don't know the word for so and so. How can I say this word, right? So you don't have to worry about making mistakes. I want you to make mistakes in class. So you speak fearlessly in class. Then you have to expand vocabulary. In class, we'll be learning so many new words, right? So many new words. So it's if you words are difficult to remember. So we have a trick for that. Okay. Instead of learning one word on its own, word and meaning, we are learning it contextually. Contextually means what? It means that according to the situation. Okay, instead of learning the word and meaning, we are learning how to use the word, where to use the word. Those are the things we are learning here. So once you know things like that, if you go back home and if you use it in your own sentence, it will be easy for you to remember these things. Okay, so that's the reason it's important to expand vocabulary. Right now, don't worry about learning extra new words. You don't have to do anything. Whatever we are learning in class, just make sure you're paying attention and you're using it in your everyday life. That is it for now. Later on, if you need extra practice, I will suggest you, then you can start doing something extra. Okay. Then engaging in real conversations. Like I said previously, we are practicing whatever is required in everyday life. So, whatever we have learned here, you go back and you speak there with your friends and family. That is for your practice. You have to engage in your real conversations with your family and friends. Okay. So today's lesson is going to be basic greetings and expressions. We have gone through this topic lightly during the demo class, but we will be repeating all those classes again. So please bear with me if you were there in the demo class. Okay. So today's class is basic in greetings and expressions. Firstly, common greeting in English. Any first common word that you have learnt in English would be what? Hi, hello, right? So these are very common greetings in English. To start any conversation, these greetings are important. Okay, you cannot start any kind of conversation without a hi, hello, hey, right? So these are like very basic conversation starters. So once you say hi or hello, um, okay, so before we move on to that, I just want to talk to you about a different ways of saying. So first you have formal language, then you have informal language, and then you have polite language. Okay, in English, there are different ways of making one sentence. Same sentence can be formed in three different ways. You can either use it formally or informally or politely. Where do you use this formal language? You use formal language, one, if you don't know the person. If you are talking to a stranger or a new person, right? You don't know their name, what they do, you use formal language. Okay? Formal language is used when you don't know the person. You can use formal language at your workplace and your school or college as well. Okay? Like with your teachers, with your managers, principal, right? Or with your boss. That is where you use formal language. Then you have informal language. Informal language is used only with family and friends. Somebody who is very close to you, you know their name, what they do, everything about them. Only then you use informal language. Okay. Polite language is used when you know the person but you don't want to be too informal, right? You don't want to sound too casual. For example, imagine you're talking to your colleague, right? Colleague means in the place where you're working, somebody who works with you is called your colleague. Okay, a person who works with you is called a colleague. So, with the colleague, you know their name, what they do, everything, right? But you don't want to be too casual. So, in situation like that, you can use polite language. Or somebody you go to school with, they are not your close friends, but you know them. They may be your classmate or schoolmate, right? But you don't know them very closely. Even in that situation, you can use polite language. Okay, so in hi, hello, and hey, you can use hi and hello for both formal, informal, or polite languages. Hey is used informally. Okay, you say hey only to your friends. Okay, you can't say hey to your colleagues or in your formal place. Then you have polite greetings like good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Right? So these are polite greetings. You can use this to greet in your polite language. But in if you have to use this in informal, you can just say morning. Okay. If you say just morning, afternoon, good evening or just evening, it is informal. If you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it is polite, or you can even use it in formal places. Okay, then you have specialized formal greetings. For example, how do you do? How do you do? This you ask in formal places, like if you're asking for your teachers or in your school or when you go for a job, right? For your boss, managers, you can ask, how do you do? So that's a formal greeting. Then you have very nice to meet you. If you say, how do you do? Very nice to meet you. This will be a formal language. But if you remove the word very and if you just say nice to meet you can use that as a polite language as well. Okay, the adding the word very in English, just adding one word will make a huge difference. So, just adding very, you're making this sentence a formal one. Very nice to meet you. It will sound more formal. So, you can just say nice to meet you if it's a polite conversation. Okay, so now we are going on to introducing yourself. Firstly, if nobody has asked you to introduce yourself, right? It's just like you are starting the conversation by yourself. You are initiating the conversation. Then you can say, let me introduce myself. Okay, you need some kind of stage, right, for you to speak. You want everybody to listen to you and they should know what you're talking. That's the reason we are giving a introductory statement. If you say, let me introduce myself, then it people will be prepared. Okay, now this person is going to talk about themselves. So if you say, let me introduce myself, if you are starting the conversation. Okay, then if somebody asks you to introduce yourself, right? If you are new to school, you might have seen your class teacher might call you in front of the class and say, can you introduce yourself? So that time, before you start talking about yourself, you can say, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. Okay, so here again, you're giving a stage for yourself before you start talking about yourself. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. Okay, then if another way to say the same thing, like somebody has asked you to introduce yourself, then you can say, it is my pleasure to introduce myself. I am so and so. Okay, so the first sentence here you can use when you are starting the conversation, but the second and the third sentence can be used when somebody else has asked you to introduce yourself. So let me read them once again for you. Let me introduce myself. Let me introduce myself. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. It is my pleasure to introduce myself. It is my pleasure to introduce myself. So every time in class like this, I'm repeating twice. I want you to repeat after me. If you want me to repeat more than twice, you can always unmute and let me know. Okay? Right. So, sharing information. These are the basic requirements of a self introduction. Okay, you need to have your name, your location, what are you studying or your job, one sentence about your hobby. This is optional. If you want, you can say, otherwise it's okay. Okay, so this is like, and why you introducing also you can add. So we'll see about that later. So, what are the different ways to tell your name? You can say, "Hi, my name is Anna." Okay, now this first sentence is, can you tell me if it's formal, informal, or polite? How does this first sentence sound to you? Yes, Ratnesh, what do you think? Is it formal, informal, or polite? How does it sound if I say, "Hi, my name is Anna"? How does it sound to you? You can guess. It's okay if you're wrong, and you can just take a guess.
Hi, my name is Ratnesh Ranjan.
Yes. How does it sound to you? Does it sound formal or informal? How is it sounding to you?
Form
Yes, very good. So this sentence is used in formal situation. "Hi, my name is Anna," or "Hi, my name is," you can add your name, right? So this statement is used in a formal situation. Okay. Then you have, "Hi, I am Anna." So this will be a informal introduction. Okay. "Hi, I'm Anna." You can use it in a informal way. "You can call me Anna." You can use this informally or politely. Anything is fine. Okay. So the first sentence is when you use, when you give a formal introduction. "Hi, my name is Anna." Then you have informal greeting where you can say, "Hi, I'm Anna." Then you can use this as informally or politely. "You can call me Anna." You can call me Anna. So these are the different ways how you can tell your name to someone. Okay. Then we have talking about your location. "I am from Mysore." I am from Mysore. You can say where you are from here. Then, "I come from Mysore." Even this, I'll tell you in a bit. Okay, "I come from Mysore." Then you have, "I live in Delhi." So this you see here the difference, come and live. So imagine you have a native place, right? There is a some place that which is where you were born and you were brought up. That is called your native place, right? A native place is where you are born. Okay, so that is where you come from. Okay, your native is where you come from, but you need not be living in your native right now. You may have moved to another town or city, right? So then you say, "I live in Delhi, but I come from Mysore," or "I am from Mysore, I live in Delhi." Okay, so that is the way you use these different words. So if you say "I am from," that is okay. It doesn't, you can use that where you're living in or your native, it doesn't matter. You can say "I am from Mysore" or "I am from Delhi," it's okay. But if you're using live, then it is your current location. Live is your current location. If you're using come, you're using your native. Okay. Right. That's about sharing your location. Then talking about your study or job. You say, "I am studying in fifth standard." If you're talking about a specific class, you use in because you're in that class, right? You have to use the preposition in. "I am studying in fifth standard." Here, "I study biology at Mysore University." Here they're using at because they're talking about a specific location or a place name, right? So if you want to say if you want to talk about your school, then you can say, "I'm studying in fifth standard at DPS." Okay, so if you want to talk about a specific location, you use at. I study biology at Mysore University. Here, if you're doing a job, then you can say I work as a teacher at Mysore University. See, before what you do, you use as. Then before talking about a specific location, you use at. Okay, I work as a teacher at Mysore University. Right? So that is when you're talking about your studies or job. Then you have talking about your hobbies. You can use this phrase in my free time. In my free time. Another phrase, I love to. In my free time, I love to sing. You can in this sentence I've used both. You can use either one of them also. That is also fine. I can say in my free time I like to cook, or I love cooking. I can just say that on its own as well. Okay, it's your choice. So in my free time I love to sing, or you can say I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cooking, or I like to. I like to play cricket in my free time. I like to play cricket in my free time. So you can use any of these phrases. It's your choice. Okay, I love to, I enjoy, or I like to. Okay, so now you introduced yourself. You said your name, your location, what are you studying or working. You talked about your hobby, right? You can make your self introduction a little more interesting by adding a goal to it. So imagine you just walked up to a person and you started talking about yourself. They'll be wondering, why is this person telling me his name, location, and all, right? He doesn't have to know. So why are you introducing? So you can add that extra information to your answer. For example, what you want to achieve with that introduction. Like, I am excited to meet new people. I am excited to meet new people. I want to learn from experiences. Right? So, for example, if you're introducing yourself in the English class, right, you can say, I want to learn English to do something. I want to learn English to be able to better communicate with someone, right? So these are the different ways you can talk. So you can say, I'm excited to meet new people. I want to learn from experiences. My goal is, my goal is to graduate with honors. Okay, my goal is, you can use that as well. So these are the different phrases. Instead of studying each word and its meaning, we are learning phrases here so it will be easy to remember. Okay, phrases that we can use in different sentences and scenarios. Phrase is a part of a sentence. It's not a complete sentence, but it's a part of a sentence. It's called a phrase. Okay, so I'm excited to meet new people. I want to learn from experiences. My goal is to graduate with honors. So these are just extra sentences you can add to your introduction just to give that extra information of why you're introducing yourself. Okay. So example self introduction. Hi, I'm Varnika. I am from Bangalore. I am a spoken English tutor with Azurite. I enjoy pop music. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all. Okay, so this is a example introduction of myself. I gave you my name. I gave you my location, what I do, my hobby, and my goal in introduction. Okay, so if I say this continuously, You can see how it sounds. Hi, I'm Varnika. I'm from Bangalore. I'm a spoken English tutor with Azurite. I enjoy pop music and I'm looking forward to getting to know you all. See, if you say this in a flow, okay, then it will sound really good and it will improve, it will like give more that just for your conversation to continue forward. Okay, so after you introduce yourself, you can also ask about others, right? Tell me a bit about yourself. How can you ask somebody else to introduce themselves, right? So you can say, tell me a bit about yourself. So I told you before in demo class as well, it's always polite for you to introduce yourself before you ask for somebody else's introduction. So for example, you say, hi, my name is, and then what's your name, or may I know your name? Okay, so you don't simply go and ask to somebody like, what's your name? Where are you from? Right? It is considered as rude. So you always introduce yourself first, then you ask for the other person. So, how can you ask the other person to talk about themselves? Is like this. Tell me a bit about yourself. Tell me a bit about yourself. Or this is in the formal situation. Okay, for formal, you can ask like this. Then, and you, this will be informal. Okay, and you, right? Then, what about you? You can use this as formal or informal, your choice. What about you? Okay, then let's do a practice activity, right? What you remember what you have to tell? Your name, where are you from, location, then you have to give what you study or what you work, and then your hobby and goal. Okay, goal can be anything. You can tell me like why are you what do you intend to use this spoken English for, or you can give me a long term goal as well, whatever you choose. It's your choice. You can include or leave it, that's also your choice. But I want you to just introduce yourself in a very brief way. I want you to make at least 3 or 4 sentences in your self introduction as we just discussed in the class. So yes, Vani, could you please introduce yourself? Vani, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, could you please introduce
Hi.
yourself?
Hi, I'm Wani. I am from Arsikire, Hassan district. I am a teacher. I am working as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I, yeah, in my free time, I love to sing and drawing, ma'am.
Okay. And what is your intention of joining this course?
Uh, I want to learn communicate language English.
I want to communicate in English.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, can you repeat? I want to communicate in English.
I want to communicate in English.
Very good. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Vani.
you. Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ratnesh, could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Ratnesh Ranjan.
Mhm.
I am located in Bihar.
I am located.
I am located in Bihar.
Mhm.
I am studying in sixth standard.
Okay.
And my hobby is playing cricket.
Very nice. Can you say is? S sound, okay? Is. Can you say is?
Is
You have to practice more s sound. Is.
is
Yes, you're there. You're almost there. So I will come up with some activity for you next time to practice different S and Z sounds. Okay, so we'll start now only practicing these sounds. So by the end of the course, you will be very comfortable with them. Okay, good. So, there are some informal greetings I'm going to talk about. Like, how do you continue the conversation from here? So, all of us here, we introduced ourselves, right? We spoke about ourselves. How do we continue the conversation? You can ask, how are you? Okay, if you just ask, how are you? It's a informal greeting. Okay, but if you say, how are you today? It will sound more formal. Okay, so when if you are talking to in a formal situation, right, you can use how are you today. If you're just using in a informal or polite way, you can say how are you. Then how's it going? Okay, how's it going means people are just asking you that what are the things that you're doing these days, right? That is the way of asking how's it going. Another way to ask is what's up, right? In your social media and on internet these days, everybody use WhatsApp. So it means that I'm not talking about the software WhatsApp. Okay, that's different. This is WhatsApp. That is WhatsApp. Sorry. I just want to clarify. Okay, this is app. Okay, where we are sending the link to join the class and everything. That is the app. This is up. Okay, up and app. There is a difference. So don't say WhatsApp. It is WhatsApp. Okay, so this is all informal greetings. You can't use it in a formal situation. You can't talk to your colleagues or your managers or your teachers. You can't go and ask your teacher, hey, what's up? Okay, you can't do that. Only to your friends and family, you can use these greetings. How's it going? Or what's up? You can ask to your friends and family. Informal situation like to your colleagues or to your schoolmates, right? You can ask, how are you today? Okay, so that's the way. Then imagine somebody asked you, how are you? How will you respond to it? You can say, good, thank you. Or I'm good, thank you. I am well, thanks. Okay, thank you sounds a little formal. If you just say thanks, it sounds informal. So, I am well, thanks. I am fine. And you? You see here, the conversation is going even further because it is ending with it's a open-ended question. You're answering what they asked and you're asking them back. I'm fine. And you? Okay, so what our goal is here, we need to have a English conversation, right? That's the reason we started with introduction. Now we are continuing with open-ended questions to continue the conversation. So if somebody asks you how are you, you can respond like this. Good, thank you. Good, thank you. I am well, thanks. I am well, thanks. I am fine. And you? I am fine. And you? Okay, this is how you respond to how are you question. Then, if somebody asks, how's it going? Right? What are the things that you're doing these days? So, how's it going? You can just answer, good, thank you. Thank you is just being polite. Okay, you're thanking them because they showed concern towards you. They're wondering if you are doing okay, right? That is showing concern. So you're thanking them for showing their concern. Good, thank you. Or you can say great, great. Or if you're not feeling that great, you can say just fine, just fine. Okay, this is how you respond to the question, how's it going? Then, if somebody asks you what's up, how will you answer? You can say not much, just relaxing. Not much, just relaxing. It means that you're not doing anything much, right? You're just chilling around. So you say not much, just relaxing. You can say, if you're busy, you can say, well, I've been pretty busy lately. It means that you have been very busy, okay? Instead of saying very busy, they're saying pretty busy. Means it's not very, but a little bit lower than very. Okay, there are different degrees. We'll talk about that later in class. So you can say, well, I've been pretty busy lately. Then, if you don't have anything to share, you can just say nothing special, just the usual. Nothing special, just the usual. It means that you're just going about with your routine. Nothing special has happened. Okay, if you have anything special, you can say that. But if it's nothing, you can just say this. Nothing special, just the usual. Okay, so these are the different ways for responding to informal greetings. All right. And then always you can ask back to continue the conversation by saying, how about you? How about you? Or what about you? What about you? And you? And you? So, and you is absolutely informal. Okay. This you can use in formal situations as well. Okay, so now we have learned how to introduce ourselves in formal, informal, and polite ways. And if we are, how to ask them questions and how to answer those questions if they ask us. Okay, so let's read this practice activity. So Ratnesh will be person A and Vani will be person B. Okay, read each dialogue slowly one after the other. Let's see how this conversation is going. Yes. Ratnesh, can you start?
Hi, my name is Ratnesh Ranjan.
Mm-hmm. Vani, you're on mute, Vani.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Nice to meet you. I am Wani.
Okay. Continue, Ratnesh.
Nice to meet you. I am from in Bihar.
No, I am from Bihar. That's it. No, in Bihar. Okay. I am from Bihar.
Oh, that's interesting. I am from Arsikere.
Okay. Ratnesh.
I am I am a study at sixth standard.
No, no, no. See, you said I am is not there. You see here, only I is there. So can you read again? I study at. You have to tell your school name, not class. I told you, remember, if there is at, you're talking about a specific place. Okay, so when you're using at, you have to tell your school name. Okay, can you try that again?
I I study at Vidya Jyoti School. About
What about you?
What about you?
Very good. Yes.
I work at GHPS, Hassan Road, Arsikere as well.
As well. Yeah. So if it is same, okay, if they are talking about the same school or job, then you can say as well. Okay, Vani. So if it is different, there is you don't say as well. So if
Okay, okay,
yes, okay.
okay.
Yes, Ratnesh, continue.
What are we doing in this region?
Lesson,
Less,
lesson.
less.
So
Okay.
we
Yes,
are
one.
we are learning about basic greeting and introduction.
There is no about there.
Okay, we are learning basic greeting and introduction.
Good.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
It was the sound of the letter W, right? The sound of the letter W is war. Okay, you have to make, you see in the video like how I'm making the shape of my lips. War, war. Like water. Okay, water. So you're making, like if you say wow, right? That is WOW. The word wow. So that is the sound you have to get. Okay? Can you try that? Was. Wow.
Bo-
Water. Try.
Fudge,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
water,
Yes. Good. So that is the sound of the letter W. Okay. So next time when you're reading the word was, remember that. Remember wow. So in the same way you say was. Okay. Good. And there is no thank you there. It's just thanks. Okay. Thanks. Yes, Vani. Last sentence.
You too. Let's catch up soon.
Yes, thank you. So you see different ways how the conversation is progressing. Always somebody is asking the question, next there'll be an answer, and only if you listen properly what the previous person is saying, you can ask a follow-up question to continue the conversation.
Yes.
Okay, that's the reason active listening is equally important when it comes to speaking. Okay, here we are giving you both dialogues, so it is easy for you to read. But if you're speaking to a person, you have to listen properly what they are saying, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you have to make sure what the other person is saying, so you are able to ask follow-up question, so your conversation will continue. Yes. Very good. And um Vani, just stay muted, okay? Okay. So I just want to draw your attention towards how this conversation is ending. See, they say thanks because here they have asked for, so person A asked for information here and person B has provided that information. So the first word the person A says is thanks, right? To be polite. Then there is nothing more that he wants to talk, right? And person B has not asked any further questions as well. So the conversation has to end now. So to say like, okay, the conversation is ending, they're using the phrase, it was nice meeting you. Because they don't know each other, this is a formal way of ending the conversation. Okay, they just got to know each other, right? They gave their names, they asked what they're doing. So they just got to know each other and they're ending the conversation formally by saying, it was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting you. Okay, formal way of ending the conversation. Then you have To answer to that, the person B says, you too. Means, it was nice meeting you too. Instead of saying the whole sentence, it was nice meeting you too. They're just saying, you too. Okay, you too. Then, let's catch up soon. Means, let us meet again sometime soon. Okay, that's what they mean by saying, let's catch up soon. Okay, so that is one way of ending the conversation. Or if you know the person, that's when you have a informal conversation, right? In informal conversation, how do you end it? You can just say bye, see you later, right? That's how you talk to your friends. When you're talking to your friends, you can say bye, see you later, instead of let's catch up soon or it's nice to meet you. Okay, so this is the formal way, that will be the informal way. All right. So now we introduced ourselves. If we have to introduce someone else, how can we do that? So, firstly, there is the formal way. You will say, I would like to introduce Mr. John Smith. Okay, maybe John Smith is your new teacher or your new colleague or your new manager, right? So, you will say, I would like to introduce Mr. John Smith. Okay, so that is a formal way of introducing someone else. And this is a polite language and formal language again. I would like to introduce. Okay, this is the phrase that you have to remember. I would like to introduce. Then imagine somebody has introduced you in a formal situation, right? You joined a new school, your teacher introduced you, or you took up a new job, or somebody introduced you. How will you respond? You'll say, thank you for the warm welcome, right? Because you are new there, you'll say, thank you for the warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be here means you are happy to be there. Happy, pleasure. Okay? It's a pleasure to be here. Ratnesh, I can imagine this word is quite difficult for you. So, difficult words, just take a pen and paper and write them down so you can practice later. Okay? Pleasure. Pleasure. Right. Then you have informal introduction. You can say, hey everyone, I want you to meet my friend, Sarah. She's awesome and we go way back. Here, first you catch everybody's attention in the room, right? Hey everyone, everybody will start listening to you. Then you say, give your introduction, right? I want you to meet my friend, Sarah. You see a comma here? It means you have to give a break even when you're saying. So while writing, we'll put a comma, right? But when we are speaking, we have to give a pause. I want you to meet my friend, Sarah. See how I'm giving the pause? I want you to meet my friend, Sarah. Okay, small pause. Then you're talking about that person, right? You're introducing them. So you say, she's awesome and we go way back. We go way back means that you know this person for a very long time. So if you know a person for a long time, for many years, you say, we go way back. We go way back. Okay? All right. So if you have been introduced like this, how do you respond? You say, hi, nice to meet you all. Because everybody is listening and getting to know you now. You have just been introduced, right? You say, hi, nice to meet you all. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for the introduction. You see thanks here and thank you here. So thank you sounds more formal Thanks is for informal. Okay. Then you have a polite introduction. Imagine you're introducing a new colleague or a new classmate to your class, right? Then you say, "Hi there, let me introduce Alex. He's a colleague from the marketing team." So you're not too formal, but you don't want to sound informal either, right? It's not a friendly place, it's your work place or your study place. So you don't want to sound too formal. That's the reason you're using polite language. "Hi there, let me introduce Alex. He's a colleague from the marketing team." Okay. Then in response, Alex says, "Hello everyone, I'm excited to be here." Excited. Excited. I'm excited to be here. Excited means happy again. Okay. I'm excited to be here. So let me quickly read this again. Okay. When you're introducing someone else, formally, this is how you do. "I would like to introduce Mr. John Smith." I would like to introduce Mr. John Smith. Then response will be, "Thank you for the warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here." Okay. Then informal situation, you say, "Hello everyone. I want you to meet my friend Sarah. She's awesome and we go way back." In response, you have, "Hi, nice to meet you all. Thanks for the introduction." Then, in a polite language, you have, "Hi there, let me introduce Alex. He's a colleague from the marketing team." In response, you have, "Hello everyone, I'm excited to be here." Okay, that's your quick recap. Alright, so now we have learned to introduce ourselves and to introduce someone else. Okay, so let's just oh, we only have 4 minutes. Alright, let's not continue to basic expressions then. We'll stop here. So so far do you guys have any doubts? Any word pronunciation you're facing difficulty and all of those things? So please pause and ask me again, and I will always repeat it for you. Okay. And tomorrow I'll come up with some activity for us to practice S and Z sounds. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.